Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk. I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Jamal, as normal.
Never been called that before.
What, man, myth, the legend?
No.
Well, there's a first for everything.
Oh, everyone's horrible to me, man.
And we have a bunch of news here. We just did our Oscars video, and we chatted about a particular man in Best Actor. Jamal, introduce us to our first category, our first piece of news.
Right, this...
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
This has been the best day of cinematic news of the year. It's been crazy. I've just been looking at my phone all day like, holy, it's been absolute madness. So the first piece of news that I saw today was, this Bond 25 has been the topic of conversation for a long time. It has now actually been pushed back to next year.
Which I think is expected.
Yeah, which is rightly so because the villain hadn't been announced until now.
And then writing, that we've heard there's a bunch of issues, script rewrites.
A bunch of stuff. But here's where it gets interesting now, as I just said. Things are starting to unfold about this film. The title of the film got released the other day, which I can't remember.
I can't remember
Let's
either.
go and get it up.
I am going to get this up. Carry on, though.
Rami Malek will be playing the Bond villain.
Yes.
Got it up?
I'm trying to find this name.
Let's have a look.
It's like Hand Shook or something, isn't it?
Shatterhand.
Shatterhand, there we go.
There we go. Didn't even have to use it.
It's a bit of an unfortunate name, Shatterhand.
So, you know why it is labelled Shatterhand?
No, fill me in.
So, in the novel of You Only Live Twice, which is vastly different to the film of that name, a villain by the name of Shatterhand is going behind the scenes causing loads of mischief. An unseen villain. Anyway, spoiler alert. Don't listen now if you want to have any potential spoilers for the film. The villain that is going under the alias Shatterhand is actually Blofeld.
Okay.
So that could be a possible tease into the direction that this film goes.
Who's playing Blofeld? Oh, supposedly.
Well, Christoph Waltz is rumoured to be coming back.
Yeah.
So, is Rami Malek the actual villain?
Who knows, but Rami Malek has been announced.
That is the news. I know I didn't announce it in the conventional way of announcing things.
2 minutes in, we got to it.
Rami Malek. And apparently the villain is going to be blind as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because this is obviously Daniel Craig's swan song, and it's been a little bit of drama behind the scenes. Not in the sense of...
Does he actually want to be Bond anymore? If he doesn't, just leave.
But I don't want him to leave.
I don't want him to leave, but I don't want a Bond to play Bond who doesn't want to play Bond.
No, just move on, if anything. Henry Cavill, bring him in. Just get it done.
Does Rami Malek have an insidious nature to him? Because none of us have seen it.
I mean, if you've seen, if anybody here has seen Mr. Robot.
Yeah. Mr. Robot is awesome.
He tagged into his darker side. Not his villainous side, his darker side.
Yeah. So he looks like, from what you've said, he's capable of delving into that aspect.
So it'll be interesting.
But he's going to have to be a horrible, horrible man if he's going to have to surpass what Javier Bardem, Mads Mikkelsen,
Christoph Waltz, although he wasn't, I don't think, the greatest villain in...
Did I say that right? Mads Mikkelsen. That's right.
Yeah.
Good. These bloody names.
But here's another thing. So Rami Malek's going to be under the protection of Cary Fukunaga.
Yeah.
So
when you talk about going dark, man, that is the guy you want to have as the guidance in that film.
We can kind of trust that there'll be some...
God, I forgot about that. That was good from you. Right.
Now we're getting excited about this.
Oh, this next one. So we've been gassing week in and week out about this Sopranos prequel film. It's not even a series, it's a film.
I've not seen The Sopranos. I'm about to start watching it, but the amount of information that's been blossoming about this show, the prequel show, has been, we've got John Bernthal coming to the show, Vera Farmiga, and now Jamal. We have a little actor who, Martin Scorsese likes him, just a little bit.
He likes him a bit. He's, like I put in the tweet today, he's the OG of mob movies.
Ray Liotta is in the prequel to Sopranos. Now, obviously, like I said, I haven't seen the show, so Jamal, it is your show.
In terms of the character he's going to play, it's not been announced yet, as far as I know. But just like I've said, he hasn't done a mob film in a while.
Is he in The Irishman?
No, he's not in The Irishman.
Not. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is sad to hear, isn't it?
I thought maybe he was.
Because he really got away from that genre for a while. And he's not really been at the forefront of Hollywood films, and I feel like he's always got something to offer. He's one of the most underrated guys out there.
He plays the likable menace so well, and
he does.
You could probably
back
say
then he could have gone in the direction that Leonardo DiCaprio went in had he ventured away from the mob genre. But like so many after him, I was going to say before him, but really after Godfather and then Goodfellas, they were the films that paved the way for the mob genre. When you look at Sopranos and the actors in there, they really got
heavily
typecast.
influenced.
So he couldn't get out of that mold, but he should have done.
Yeah,
he's done some great films in his time.
And I think he's also, the thing about Ray Liotta is that even if he is almost stereotypically cast, let's not lie to ourselves and pretend that he isn't. Probably behind Joe Pesci, the best at being a gangster.
Yeah,
probably. I mean, Robert De Niro is great too.
Yeah,
but Joe Pesci, I think, he's the GOAT. But
Goodfellas is the GOAT.
Yeah, but I'm excited as someone who hasn't seen The Sopranos. This news
get on it, man.
Gets me excited.
Get on it.
So this leads into another casting
that we've been talking about.
We talk about
each week as well.
Every episode. Dune, directed by Denis Villeneuve, is adding new people week in, week out, and this week is no different.
Should we go over who is in it so far?
I'll say first, Josh Brolin has been, Thanos himself has been cast in this film, along the likes of Timothée Chalamet, Javier Bardem, I mean, Dave Bautista. Keep on going. Hold on, to be honest, Jason Momoa, who is just
Jason Momoa's in it.
Jason Momoa just was cast as well.
Woo,
Rebecca Ferguson, Zendaya, Oscar Isaac, Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh my god!
And I have a feeling this isn't the last big
this
casting
is going to be
either.
awesome. And it's going to have, I was going to say about $2 million budget, but I don't know for sure. But by the looks of it, it looks like it's got well over $100 million.
Well, here's what we got to think about going to the film is that Denis Villeneuve was given a lot of money for Blade Runner 2049
and killed it.
Didn't make as much money as he wanted. So let's keep that realistically in our back of our minds. This will probably have the scope of Blade Runner, but probably not the budget. I'm not, but after seeing all these actors, I'm like, maybe it's
critical reception has got to count for something these days, man. It can't just be about the box office.
That's what I would love, but sometimes business just overruns it. But
date for the film is November 2020. So a long way away. But more than enough time to create a Best Picture nominee, which that is a shoo-in.
I mean,
it's a shoo-in. I've not even seen it.
Blade Runner 2049 should be nominated for Best Picture. I remember we chatted about this, and we won't stay on too long on this.
That's still upsetting for me, man, that didn't get nominated.
I mean, what great news to know that there's another brilliant actor coming in. I don't remember what character he's playing, but he plays a swordmaster, I believe? Or is that Jason Momoa plays a swordmaster?
That sounds more like what Jason Momoa would be doing.
Just look at him. I mean, that guy.
He's going to have his top off in that movie.
It's going to bring the women in, and probably the men. I'll probably go see
it. He's a beast.
He's
a beast of a guy. Speaking of Jason Momoa, let's do that perfect segue.
Let's do it. Aquaman 2, although I have still not seen Aquaman 1.
It was awesome. Trust me, it was awesome.
I'm not too keen.
You will end up watching it.
Of course I'll end up watching it. I'm not too keen, but...
Bro, I wasn't keen. I was pleasantly surprised.
It's broken $1 billion. It's broken $1 billion.
I'm not surprised, it's in today's climate.
It's the highest grossing DCEU movie from the past few years. Aquaman 2 announced for 2021.
2021, yes.
Which is... I think that's a relatively
and it's December
soon.
2021 as well.
Yes.
So a long way away.
I mean, let me just make sure that we have this up right now. Yeah, and I mean, although I haven't seen the first one, I'm not surprised because did you see the reception that I got from fans? You see how much money it made?
Visually, it is one of the most insane films. This is a bold statement, man, but visually it's the best film I've seen since Blade Runner 2049.
2022, by the way, not 2021.
2022. Right. Well, that's more than enough time for them to think, well, the DC Cinematic Universe is done now.
Yeah.
Unless you do that as a separate thing, which I'm game for, just do it as a separate thing, but by 2022, DC will have wanted to have put out another Batman film by then.
Well, I mean,
will have wanted to have rebooted.
It's definitely a sequel to the 2018 Aquaman film. That's without a doubt. So there is
a slight chance it will. I don't know though, because it got amazing critical reception, and then the amazing horror element.
It didn't get
film.
that well of a reception, but I mean, it got well reception.
It got a lot
from fans, I think, but not critically. Not critically.
For actual comic book fans, it got a good reception.
Yeah.
There was this trench sequence in the film, which had massive horror elements in it. These creatures were pretty terrifying for a 12A film. That is going to be converted into a spin-off horror film helmed by James Wan, which sounds awesome. Which shows that they are investing in the future.
That's for the DC streaming service, if I'm correct.
Is it?
I believe that's one of the moves that they're making for it.
We'll have to check on that one to be sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that. If that's the case, though, yes, all for it.
Streaming services.
Right now, DC are really trying to go up against Marvel and Disney.
Yeah.
Which that leads us to our next.
I'm gonna have literally no money left.
Yeah, because Disney Plus is coming out soon. And
do you think Netflix is gonna struggle?
No, Netflix will be fine.
They'll lose some money though.
I don't know, because ever since even The Punisher and Jessica Jones and all these have been cancelled.
Yeah,
they've not lost any money so far. Not lost any stock, which leads us to the next story.
That was bad. That was bad. That wasn't. I mean, it was thoroughly expected, but just to see the disintegration of these R-rated properties.
You can tell that John Bernthal was so upset by it because it
gave everything. Yeah, it gave everything for that role.
And so, Punisher and Jessica Jones have been cancelled. They're not going to get another season. Jessica Jones is going to get season 3, which comes out this.
It is.
Yeah, it's
already.
It's already done.
Film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jessica Jones season 3 is going to come out. But after that, no more Marvel, which means supposedly they're going to reboot everything on the Disney streaming service.
There is hopeful news though, because Kevin Feige has said, I believe it was Kevin Feige, or it might have been Bob Iger, who is the Disney...
Bob Iger, I think it was.
The Disney guy. He has said he's very much open, in the case of Deadpool, for letting that character flourish in its full...
Yeah, in its own thing.
Yeah. So that means R-rated properties under a Disney banner is a real possibility.
And maybe this isn't the end. I am personally thinking that Disney knows that The Punisher, Jessica Jones, all these characters are loved. Like, The Punisher is by far, I think, one of the best superhero shows of all time.
What they've done, they've revived characters that were on the back burner, like Marvel has done with the cinematic universe. When you look back at Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, we grew up with the likes of Spider-Man, X-Men,
revolutionized.
Batman wasn't obviously a Marvel property, isn't a Marvel property, but in terms of mainstream superheroes, no one really knew who Captain America and Thor were.
No.
So for them to do that on the cinematic scale and then do the same thing in television with Daredevil,
Jessica
everybody
Jones.
knows Jessica Jones, everybody knows The Punisher.
And I think this is what Disney are going to look at when they get the new streaming service, is that, hey, let's kind of revise what these shows were doing right, and then let's carry on. I think they're going to carry on, personally. I think they're going to carry on.
I think there's too much money to be made, and there's too much of an established fan base.
The established fan base is the truest in every sense of the word. It is a fan base.
And they're making it known how annoyed they are about this.
And I think, I don't think Netflix actually had a hand in cancelling it. I think Disney did. I could be wrong. No one really knows the logistics of what's going on.
Netflix is making a whole load of money.
So it's interesting.
They wouldn't have been against it.
No. So
I mean, they would have been against it. They would have been dead against.
Shutting it down.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Is that I think they couldn't be against it though, because I think Disney had overhaul.
So obviously Disney have control over the whole Marvel intellectual property, but if Netflix didn't, Netflix would have been all over that.
Who knows? Maybe
we can't speak for them though.
I think until we have the Disney streaming service and they've announced the Marvel shows that they're doing, why not announce a new Punisher show? Why not announce all these new shows when they are announcing, the Loki series? They're doing the...
Which is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're doing, not Black Widow, Scarlet Witch and
Black Widow's getting a film, isn't she?
Black Widow's getting a film, yeah.
Don't like that.
And that's actually news as well, to be honest.
Phase 4? Is it Phase 4?
Yeah. Phase 5.
Is it?
No, wait.
No, it's
Phase 4.
Phase 4, because this
4.
is still in Phase 3. This is the last of Phase 3, isn't it? So
I don't actually know.
Spider-Man is... Because you've got to think about it. Right, I mean, technically, if you want to be really nerdy and geeky about this, you could say that Phase 4 is Captain Marvel and Endgame.
And then that's Phase 4. Yeah. You know what? That might be what it is.
Could be.
We didn't have a film after Infinity War, did we?
Nope.
Well, we did. Yes, we did. We had Ant-Man and the Wasp.
No one cares about that, and that isn't part of the continuity because.
Well, I'm saying
nothing
that
to do
might have been the first. Oh man, my mind's been blown. I don't
think
know.
it's Captain Marvel and Endgame because Ant-Man and the Wasp is set before Infinity War. So what does that come under?
Honestly, I haven't actually been confused about film a long time. Okay,
I think Phase 4 starts with Spider-Man Homecoming. Not Homecoming, Far From Home.
Phase 4 is... Alright, this isn't part of the news, but we're kind of doing this because we're in the conversation anyways.
We need to know.
Avengers Endgame was the mark of the end of Phase 3.
Yes.
And that's going to be the final movie of Phase 3. Everything before that's going to be Phase 3. So Captain Marvel is still Phase 3. Ant-Man and the Wasp. So that's all Phase 3. Spider-Man Homecoming is the Phase 5.
Far From Home.
Yeah. Far From Home, sorry.
It's hard. There's so much home in those titles.
Yeah. There's a lot of Endgame. I don't know why. It's so very confusing.
Yeah.
So, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Far From Home,
is
bro.
going to be Spider-Man Far From Home is going to be the beginning of Phase 4.
Yes.
So cool. We know that now.
Damn, that was too stressful.
I hate Spider-Man now. I can't say that.
That is
Forgive me.
And obviously that is going to be set. That's another thing as well. Is that set after Endgame or not?
I don't know. We'll find out. I guess that's not really a thing we can really speculate until we see because
true.
There's so many variables flowing around right now. And should we just go to the last piece?
Yeah, we kind of mentioned it in the Oscars video.
Which if you haven't seen it yet, you better be watching it.
You better have watched it.
Watched it already, or if not,
they probably watched
this.
it already.
Yeah,
I mean,
loyal
they
fans.
You can't be watching this and not watching the previous one already.
Exactly. So,
Ari Aster, who directed one of the best pure horror films of all time,
second best film of last year.
In your opinion, it's definitely up there. It's on my top 5, top 3. It was on my top 3
of last year.
Yeah. Amazing. As a horror purist, that was an incredible feat of work. Truly terrifying. I rarely see films that rattle me to my core. He directed Hereditary, his new film. He's wasting no time establishing his cinematic portfolio. Only his second film, Midsummer, is the poster for that has been released today. We're going to show that on the screen right now.
Yeah, hopefully we have the picture up there so we kind of talk about it. I don't know why, but it gives me horror vibes.
So it's that whole idea of putting a beautiful backdrop, contrasting imagery. So you have this beautiful field filled with flowers, and then this paganistic a word? This pagan cult worshipping this thing. So the plot of the film is really vague at the moment, but it's about this group of friends, or is it a group of friends or a couple?
I think it's a couple.
So
I could be wrong though, because honestly, there's not that much known about this film.
So this group of people go to this Midsummer festival, or this summer festival, and which is overrun by pagans, and it even says in the plot, violence ensues.
Yeah. Now, it's an American horror film.
So
that's what it says.
He loves violence, we know that. When you look at the shivving scene in Hereditary, when she chops her own neck off, that's
probably the craziest scene from last year.
Yeah. I can't watch that again.
I can't believe you just mentioned that. I forgot all about that scene. And if you look at everyone who's in this film, Will Poulter, Florence Pugh, never heard of her before, but Jack Renner, he was in Transformers 4. He was great in Transformers. In fact, I felt like he was the only thing good about
I was going to say that.
Those films.
Yeah, probably was.
And when you have a director who's also writing a film like this, I feel like there's no way that he can really go wrong because he's in his own element right here.
I'm on Bloody Disgusting right now, which is the best source of horror news, bar us, on the internet. So I'm going to read the plot to you guys just so you don't take all my bollocks that I just said as a fact. I want to get this right. So it is a couple. Pugh and Rayner will play a couple that travels to Sweden to visit their friend's rural hometown for its fabled Midsummer Festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. So that sounds...
Guarantee this is going to have a similar ending to Hereditary.
Which in
isn't
turn,
bad. I'm not complaining. It's gonna be divisive though. I think.
You know what I only just realised, right? Because I was so shaken to the core during Hereditary, is that Toni Collette's character floats to the treehouse with no head.
Yes.
I didn't realise that in the cinema because I was
It's a
freaking. I was probably watching like this.
And then, like, obviously, when he's walking to the treehouse, like people are in the back.
Everyone's crazy.
Woo!
Can you watch that again? Can you seriously watch it again? I'll watch it with you. But I'll watch it through.
Yeah, I'll watch it half with like one eye. Probably. I'll probably like.
It's one of those films like that, and I know I always say it to you, and you just don't feel it. Suspiria makes me feel physically sick.
I know.
That film made me feel ill.
That's it for the movie news today, man.
What a great time to be a horror fan, and to think we have the boy, the main man, the current face of horror in Hollywood,
next to James Wan,
Jordan Peele.
Us. Oh man,
this month.
You're right. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Ari Aster, who's
Ari Aster. We've got to wait.
He will get there. He will get there.
But I mean, to be fair, just to think about it before we leave. Both of those guys have only done one feature film.
They've been
game changers in the horror genre.
Yeah, and I think going forward, you will see more movies like Get Out. Going forward, you'll see more films like Hereditary. And I think that's already being seen with Jordan Peele's next film, Us, which it doesn't look similar to Get Out in the same story, but it has the same feeling.
And themes.
Themes, definitely. And Midsummer, I won't say anything until I see the trailer in terms of similarness, but you can get the vibe already that he is in his element as he was with.
He loves cults.
Hereditary. Yes.
You know he loves cults.
That's my favorite horror, like, really, not just
possession and cults. I mean,
like subsection.
So, do we expect possessions in that film?
Oh yeah, we'll expect some wacky paranormal activity to happen of some sort that I will probably not be able to watch fully because my eyes like.
Tell you what, if you combine the pure fear factor from Hereditary with the editing from Suspiria, you'll get the scariest film of all time. Because the editing. This is where we find out that
the editing from Suspiria is going to be doing.
The editing in Suspiria and those dream sequences. One of the most horrific things.
I think we can also say that even the director, I don't remember his name, who did Suspiria. If he has a film coming out soon, I don't know if he does.
Did he do Call Me by Your Name?
No.
Are you sure?
Did he?
Google that right now.
Man, this has turned into the Google show.
But this is. You need to know.
I mean, why isn't this working?
Luca Guadagnini. He did Call Me by Your Name. He did do it. I told you. Cinematic knowledge.
Let's read.
Like a fortress.
I can't believe that.
Luca Guadagnino.
He did that.
So you go from Call Me by Your Name to a film like Suspiria.
Also, Dark Phoenix just dropped the trailer, which we'll talk about in the next show.
Yeah, we'll talk about in the next show.
There's a lot of things that are dropping today. Goodness me.
It's got panned.
Well, I guess we can talk about this real quick, because it is news.
Nobody knows what timeline that film is in.
Nobody knows, but it's also got a lot of pre-hate for everything. I've heard, we've seen all over like Twitter that people who have seen it
remaking The Last Stand, isn't it?
Well, they're saying that it's even worse than Last Stand. Yeah. Where I'm like,
it's a bit of a guilty pleasure, Last Stand.
Do you really think so?
Well,
my guilty pleasure is Apocalypse. I love Apocalypse.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. You know, you're not the first person to tell me that.
Oh, every time I mention that, I get slated. Apocalypse. But I'm glad here. We're out there.
There were elements of it that I did like, but Apocalypse himself was just not good to look at.
The villain, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Waste of Oscar Isaac's time, man.
I love Oscar Isaac.
You know, to be fair, I haven't revisited The Last Stand since I was a kid.
Have you not? Maybe it's time for you to whip out all the films again.
And I thought Action Man was good as a kid. So
well, you had. It's a great thing you didn't do Real Talk back then.
Yeah, that shows my judgment of what's good and what's not.
Well, that's it for this episode of Real Talk.
Yeah.
Jamal, we just had a tweet that blowed up on Twitter that went to 17,000 views. And we really want to thank any of our followers that got involved in that tweet. Thank you.
And the new ones that joined as well. So many people got following Real Talk.
And why wouldn't they? We're going to be providing you guys with videos like we have been doing on a almost near constant weekly basis. And we love talking about films. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like.
And a subscribe.
And then follow us on Twitter if you aren't already, which if you're not following us on Twitter,
retweets are appreciated as well.
At Real
Share
Talk
it with your friends. Tell us how cool we are. Tell us how cool we aren't. Whatever.
Well, Don't tell me. I have my emotions. And then the Twitter handle is @RealTalkKeys. Follow us on there. And until next time,
It's been Jamal, Niaz,
and Damian Pickett.
Thank you so much.